Alright, so getting the wiring harness in. Already did the HVAC box, so that's back in. Been doing some of the wiring, got the computer in. So as you can see down there, the computer is in now, and I changed the heater core, the AC evaporator, the blower motor resistor, and put some vacuum lines and stuff on there. Now I'm getting down to the wiring and all that, so you can see that loose wiring. So I gotta start splicing and doing all that for that and get that all loomed up. And of course there's connections on the back of the dash and all that, so most of that stuff has places to go. Some of it I have to wire. And so I'm gonna leave the dash hanging out like that for a minute so I can have easy access to the firewall. And then laying out the engine wiring harness. You know, the engine wiring harness go to pretty much everything under here. So I got the injectors hooked up, as you can see. It kind of looks a mess right now because I just got wires laying everywhere, but like this, like these are the injectors. Bam, 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 bam. So got those hooked in. This is the engine coolant temp sensor, and then I got the injectors hooked up right there on the other side. And then this one, that one in the middle right there, this one here, that's the air charge temperature sensor. So those are things that definitely need to be hooked up so the engine can run right. Got the distributor hooked up right here. Here's the spout connector. So that's what you gotta take out if you want to set the timing. You gotta take this part out, set the timing, then put this back. So that just kind of hangs out. Got the AC hooked up. I still got to run the AC lines and all that, but that's gonna come after I get the intake and all that back on. So got a couple of loose connectors, like this connector here goes to the idle air control motor, and then you got some other ones that go to various things. So once I get all this hooked in, once I get the upper intake back on, then you know you'll kind of see where the rest of this stuff goes. But as you can see, the heater core brand new here, and then the evaporator brand new here. So I'll be running the hoses and the lines and everything to that. And then this is the condenser for the AC, so it's just waiting for me to install the lines and everything, and then you get those that go to that. So I'm getting there. And then you can see like this wiring, and what else down here. So this you know, this still takes some work. It ain't all just done for you, so you still gotta you know, wire stuff up and loom it up and get it all in. These two pieces right here, this is the this one is the accelerator cable for the gas pedal, and this one is the cruise control cable. So they both hook up to this little thing right here, the little accelerator cable E-clip. And once the upper intake is on, this little thing right here will take a stud. You just snap it into the throttle body, and then when you hit the gas, it's pulling the throttle body open and shut. So that'll go on in a minute, but gotta get the upper intake on first. So in order for me to get that intake on, I gotta get all this stuff wired in. So you can see the injectors. I'll get that out the way. All the injectors are hooked up here, 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 in here. And then this is the coolant temperature sensor. And then on the other side, you got the injectors hooked up. And then that one right there in the middle is the air charge temperature sensor. So I'm getting in there. Got the brake booster hooked up with his vacuum line. And just trying to get all the wires ran. I got the coil hooked up, got the AC hooked up, all that. Got the distributor hooked up with his harness. And so now I'm just trying to get everything ran and figure out where I'm gonna have to zip tie and use the push pins and everything. I'm waiting on my water neck to come, because this water neck, although it's the right one, it's not the right one if you run in electric fans, which is what I'm doing. So there's a temperature sensor right here that will screw into the base of the water neck, but this one don't have the provision for it because this is a factory one, and the factory one actually was for a belt driven fan. So once the other water neck get here, then I can screw this into it, and this will let the fans know how hot the car is, so it'll know when to cut on. So the normal temperature for the fans to cut on is like 190 degrees, and what I did was I bought a thermostat that goes in here that opens at 165 degrees. Since this is a higher horsepower motor and it's going to be doing more work, I wanted it to be able to cool faster than the stock motor. So that's why I got the big 3-row radiator and the electric fans, get some of that drag off the motor, and then get more of a quicker opening thermostat so it can keep it running a lot cooler. And the water pump that I got down in there is a high flow water pump, so it pumps more water than the average bear. So I'm getting up in there. Got the smog stuff in there. I think I showed that earlier, but got the various valves that I'm gonna have to run vacuum lines to. This is part of it right here. I had to unhook this because it goes right here. These hook up to all these sensors down in here, and that's where the wiring harness came through. So in order to give myself a little more room to work, I wanted to make sure that I had some room to get these big ass hands up in there. So I'm getting it done, just updating y'all on what's going on. But other than that, good to go.